Hi, I'm James Williams and this is Chimes Media. Well, on Sunday the 25th of March I went back to Hyde Park. I believe Sargon of Akkad, as he's known, was to be speaking there. And it wasn't quite as big a crowd as it was for Tommy Robinson, but he had a lot of, like I say, furry microphones around him, so it looked like there was a lot of professional journalism, quite interested in what Sargon had to say. I didn't get very close enough to hear what he was saying exactly, but I saw his recording called Stupid later, which summarised what he had to say. Sargon is a reporter. He's reporting the news that we ought to know about, we ought to see, and that sort of thing, and he picks up on some very, very important issues. Last week, the week before that, is on the 18th of March, when Tommy Robinson had appeared. It was a very, very cold day. There was a threat of violence from the Muslim groups, but I think their leaders managed to keep them more or less in check. But after I'd left Hyde Park to the south, I'm not sure, is it Wellington Gate or something? I'm not very familiar with London. Shortly after that, there were two police vans went screaming towards the area, and I thought, well, okay, must have been some after trouble. The crowd when I left was just dissipating. But I managed to speak to someone this time who was a witness to what went on. They were suddenly surprised because a group of probably 40, maybe 50 men charged into the park away from Speaker's Corner in a agitated mood. They were after somebody, and that somebody happened to be another Muslim, a Shiite Muslim. I don't know his name. But clearly the guy was, must have felt quite frightened to what was going on. This is the religion of peace. These are the people who are supposed to tell us they're peaceful. Fortunately for the particular Shiite, there were two ex-Muslims, apostates, who happened to be, I think, bouncers. They rushed into the park very bravely to protect this guy, and I don't know what the outcome it was, but it was obviously quite hairy for a moment or two. Anyway, I went back to see, not just to have a glimpse of Sargon, but I wanted to again see what sort of people there were. It's quite vibrant, not so many hundreds as there were for the Tommy Robinson event, but there were quite a few there. And you could hear there was Muslim music going out near Marble Arch, and renditions of some extracts from, I believe it's from the Quran. I got some recordings of that. And but walking through London, and this is going through Regent Street, Oxford Street, and all the other streets to get to Waterloo Station, I noted the population of the street, people in the street, was fairly cosmopolitan, should I say? And they weren't all Muslims at all. There was French people and Swedish. It was quite a nice mix. But what struck me was how everyone was walking, meandering along slowly. There's me rushing to catch a train, and they're all meandering along. And I noticed this in Portsmouth as well. People meander around and wander around and things like that. Now, for some of us who are taking an interest in what's happening radically in our country, how freedom of speech is being suppressed, how certain individuals who are not going to hurt a fly are getting selected out because they're seen as extreme right-wing, as if they're the threat, and they're not, obviously. When you see this, and you look, and then you compare it and contrast it with all those people. I mean, there were tens of thousands probably of people going shopping and that sort of thing, without seemingly a care in the world. And you're thinking, okay, who's going to stop the oppressors? When it starts getting really out of hand, who's going to stop the oppressors? Everyone's pretty well fed. They've got entertainment. They've got their little knickknacks from the various shops. They've got their little lives to go to and go about. Many of them have got jobs, whether they're trivial or important jobs. They've got jobs, their occupations. And it's a case of bread and circuses, isn't it? So while all these people, I don't begrudge them a penny for what they've done and earned and that sort of thing, while they're being pacified with the entertainment and the rubbish that goes on TV and what else goes out in the outside world. Meanwhile, the authoritarians, the totalitarians, keep up their work to erode our freedoms. It gives you food for thought, doesn't it? Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves.